Hi, I'm Sean Clark. I'm standing in front of Billy's house from the film Creepshow in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Horror's Hallowed Grounds.
1, 2, 3, 4! I don't care what you say about your own time. It's not my problem. Reason that you doesn't mean a fucking thing to me. Take your reasons and drive all night. Alright. Never cared what you said, deaf, dumb, and blind. Money and your attitude of gossip and your gratitude. And yeah, you're not my problem. I've got my problem. Go away, go away.
I told you before I didn't want you reading this crap. I never saw such rotten crap in my life. Who sells this shit to you? I'm talking to you, young man.
Right now I'm standing in front of Siemens Energy Corp. This was formerly Penn Hall Academy, which was a boys' school. At this boys' school, inside this building behind me, was a gymnasium that housed all the sets for Creepshow, as well as Tom Savini's workshop where he created all his great effects for the film. Now, the entire set for They're Creeping Up on You, the interiors for Something Tied You Over, all of those were shot here. Unfortunately, we can't get inside. I was just in there, and quite frankly, you're not missing anything. It's a lot of cubicles and desks, and it doesn't look anything like you would want it to look. There isn't an awesome 70s den in there. Sorry, it ain't gonna happen. But this is where the magic happened. Tom Savini made some of his most famous creations right in this building, and some of cinema's most incredible moments were shot right behind us. Unfortunately, that's all you get to see is the building. Enjoy.
We requested access to the Father's Day house, but unfortunately we were denied by the owners and their attorney. So we had this footage a good friend of ours, Lawrence, had shot, and he let us use this just so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like today.
Oh, God, Henry, what's wrong now?
Not a thing, Wilma. Everything's just fine.
So, as you can tell, this is the famous tree where Adrienne Barbeau was shot in the dream sequence of the party. Right behind me here, this is where the bar was set up, back in this area. And up in the front of the house is where most of the action happened. Let's go take a look at that now. I'm now standing at the house from the faculty party. This is located on Beacon Street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Right behind me, within this brush, is where they were standing having the conversation. Obviously, a lot of growth has happened nowadays, so I can't get the shot right. You can't see the windows behind them, but if you look over here, you can see one of the windows that's visible in the shot. Right next to this little stoop where Fritz Weaver was having a conversation with Hal Holbrook.
I gather you'll be unavailable for chess tonight.
So then Hal Holbrook walks up here and sits down right over there. This is where Fritz Weaver is sitting, and they have a conversation about how Fritz more than likely won't be joining him for chess that night because, well, let's face it, he's gonna be banging some young tail, Tom Atkins style, TA, the Silver Fox, you know what I'm talking about. Anywho, the maid then walks up and lets Fritz know he has a phone call. And that phone call is coming from the university. It could be about a certain crate that was just found. And that little bit was shot right behind me in this room. Let's go take a look at that now.
1834? Really?
Yeah, the stencil right on the side. June 19, 1834. And then something about an Arctic expedition.
So now we're in the interior of the faculty party house. Now this is the only shot that was inside a real house. Everything else was sets built at the Siemens Energy Corp. But this one shot here where Fritz Weaver gets the phone call about the crate found under the stairs happened in this spot. So once Fritz gets the phone call, he then jumps in his little convertible that's parked right here and speeds off to the university, Horlicks University and Amberson Hall, which is where we're heading right now. Ain't got no convertible though. Got the cheesy rental. So now we're at Amberson Hall from Creepshow, which is actually Margaret Morrison Carnegie Hall in beautiful downtown Pittsburgh. Right in front of me is the entrance to the parking lot that they go in and out during the film. But in this building behind me, this is where they found the infamous crate. Let's go inside and take a look. So now we're in the hallway where Charlie Garrison bumps into Dex Stanley after Dex runs up in a panic finding out what's inside the crate. He comes out from the stairwell up here and bumps into Charlie right around this area over here. You will notice on the wall this in several of the shots. So then Dexter gets Stanley and they intensely head over to the stairs. You can tell how intense it is because the music starts to swell. And then it goes into here. But unfortunately, this is not really the stairway down to the lab. The lab was a set in the building we showed you earlier at Siemens Energy Corp. So right now I'm walking along the street where Marty Schiff and Tom Savini, who played the garbage men, were picking up trash and found the infamous Creepshow comic book right in front of Billy's house. Located right behind me. So now I'm here with Tom Atkins, who played the father in the wraparound segment in Creepshow. So how did you get involved in this project originally?
Well, I knew George and Christine from the Berg, from doing theater and stuff here, and we were kind of pals, and they were out in LA, and he called me and said, come on over and read for this movie I'm going to do in Pittsburgh, Creepshow. And when I got to the office, I'd read the script, and he said, what do you think? And I said, well, I really liked it. And are you going to make it like an actual comic book? And he said, yeah, real bright colors and kind of panels thrown in there. And he said, anybody in there you want to play? And I said, yeah, I'd like to play the guy that gets eaten by the swamp stuff. And he said, well, you know, Stephen King and I wrote it, and Stephen wants to do that guy. I said, so, well, I guess then I'm not doing the guy. He said, yeah, right. Would you do me a big favor and play the dad in the wraparound in the very beginning and the very end? And I said, yeah, sure. That's how I got involved.
Well, we're standing in front of your house here from the film. And it's been, what, 34 years since you've been here?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you remember about this location and filming here?
Well, I remember that the garbage can was right out here, and I think it opened with that. And I remember Stephen King coming up into my in the honey wagon on the night I was shooting the garbage can and the other stuff. I think I only worked a couple days, and King he came up the steps into the honey wagon. First time we had ever met. Somebody said, Stephen King, Tom Atkins, Tom, Stephen King. And he said, those beady little eyes of his, what was Jamie Lee Curtis really like? You dirty old guy. Well, I think we're all about the same age. And I remember the scene here, the flashing lights and the throwing it in the thing, and Tommy Savini, I think, was the
I believe it was
garbage
this.
man. Yeah.
That piece of
Something
crap.
like that. I remember Stephen was also very worried that I was going to hurt his son, Joe, who played my son, the kid that I didn't want reading this shit. And he's saying, Tom, not going to hurt him, are you? I said, Stephen, come on, man. I'm a professional actor, for Christ's sake. I've been doing this a long time. I'm not going to hurt him.
So apparently you didn't film inside this house. It was a different location,
well, that's
correct?
what they say, but I thought it was this house.
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't.
But it definitely was a real house, not a set.
It felt like a real house. I don't remember it being a set because I can remember being in the room with the kid on the bed and smacking him, and Stephen King in the room, George in the room, the camera in the wife in the room. It all felt really, really tight. Yeah.
Because I know they did shoot some of the...
And the living room, too. It felt like a room.
They had built a bunch of the sets at a nearby building, not too far from here, but if you think it was a real house, they did use a few different houses. That's definitely possible.
Yeah.
So I know you're really good friends with Adrienne Barbeau. What was it like working with her on the project?
I am really good friends with Adrienne Barbeau, and I'll tell you exactly what it was like working with her on this project. I never worked with her on this project. I've been in 4 films with Adrienne: The Fog, Creepshow, Two Evil Eyes, and Escape from New York. Never once have we appeared on screen together. Maybe that's why we're such good friends, and we have been for, God, long time, 40 years. Yeah.
Now, was it either you or her that hooked one or the other up with George and this project? Had you worked with her or with him before, or had she?
You know,
because you're from Pittsburgh.
I don't remember. So. Yeah, I am from Pittsburgh, and she isn't. She's from San Jose, Fresno, up that area. I don't remember if, I think he wanted her to be in it. He knew that we knew each other because we had talked about her out there in LA when we were at that meeting. And I remember her calling me and saying, "Tommy, George wants me to be in this thing. I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's going to?" I said, "Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. It'll be great. He'll make it just like a comic book, you know." She was real worried about what her performance was going to be like in this with Hal and the thing in the box and all that stuff.
I think it's one of her best performances.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too. I thought it was really good. Well, I thought she was good at The Fog too. But anyway, we've done 4 films together. We never worked together, and they were all one variation of a horror movie or another. Jesus Christ, I tell you, I'm really sick of fucking horror movies. Horror movies.
It's kind of your life, though. I mean,
yeah. Well, they've been my life. Yeah, I made a nice living at them and that. But you know, I mean, I would really like to do something serious. You know, I'm at an age now where serious actors, and I am one, done a lot of stage work. I'd like to do Lear. I'd like to do a film of Lear. I'd like to do a serious film, a screenplay written by my son, Taylor, or a film of Lear, directed, maybe adapted by Todd Farmer, directed by Patrick Lussier, or Fred Decker, or George Romero. But Lear, you know, the crack of lightning, the cannon, carillon of thunder, and hell, I'm a big Creepshow shit, horror movie shit.
Ah, you poor old bear. You want me to get you some Bengay? Right now I'm standing in front of Siemens Energy Corp. This used to be Penn Hall what? Academy. All right, one more time. He then, the other, I can feel the weaverness happening. Dream Weaver. So now we're in the hallway where Charlie Garrett, one more time. Let's face it, if at 7:30 at night, you're fucking in class rehearsing some shit like this, you ain't getting no play, you know what I'm saying? You're getting nothing's happening down here, you know what I'm saying? So right now, wait, what's the name of the street? No time to talk. All right. The interior of something's creeping up on you, or they're creeping up on you. They're creeping up on you? They're creeping up on you. I said something to tide you over. It's just a shitty old stairwell with people coming up it. It could be the Crepe Beast for all we know. Let's see. It sounds like a Crepe Beast. Full-on Crepe Beast. Fuck this shit, I'm going.